Hey there, comic book fans. I got a comic book in the mail today. Nothing special to everybody else out there, but to me, it was cool. First, I want to show you this. I've shown it before, but not in a while. Back from about maybe 2015 to 2018, there used to be a type of video that got made on YouTube by comic book collectors, and that was the list of things you were going to try to collect this year. Being that I'm not a back issue collector, I never really did it until 2017. I wrote the year there. I did it once, and I've been checking things off this list ever since 2017. But the one I get to check off right now, this is Palookaville number 2. This is the last Palookaville I need. You see on this list was Palookaville 1 and 2. I think I got one, I don't know, last year, this winter, I can't even remember when. They're not particularly, the Palookaville 1 or 2 are like issues that sellers want to be expensive. Like I've seen people try to sell Palookaville number 1 for $100. Nobody's buying it for that. I ended up getting a copy eventually for like $15. I think I spent about $12 on this one. I think it was $9 plus, I don't know, $3 or $4 for shipping. So I'm happy to get that one. I now have, this is by the one named cartoonist Seth. So I'm happy to get that. And what else is on this list? Delphine. I got issue 3, but not 4. Delphine is a Richard Sala oversized comic. It's part of the Ignatz collection from Fantagraphics from the early 2000s, and I got 1 and 2, and I never saw 3 and 4. I got 3 eventually. 4 I just never see. Sometimes you'll see like 4 pop up on eBay for like $400. I'm like, no thanks. But those are the bones I need. 28 and 30 through 38, and I just reread Bone this winter. I got the digital version on Amazon for like $10 or $15. So during my commuting, I read all of Bone, enjoyed it. First time I had read it for ages. I have Mage here, 2 through 11, because when I first bought Mage in the 80s, I got issue 1. Just somehow never saw another issue till like issue 6, and I was like, yeah, I'm missing those other issues. Then I heard good things about it, and I ended up getting issue like 13, 14, and 15 when it ended. So I had 1, 13, 14, and 15, I think it was. Must have had 12 too at some point. But then I got those oversized Starfire or something books, that early trade paperbacks from the late 80s that collected all of Mage, and that's what I've read for years. Pardon me. But I decided that I wanted the original issues too, which I got a couple of years ago. But I'm finally reading them. I just this week I decided to finally, I want to read the original, Mage as it came out, in those original issues. Boy, I got a frog in my throat. Matt Wagner has an editorial. Each issue, and there's letters pages in the back. I'm just enjoying reading them as the original comic, so that's fun. Oh, and I also recently got, I think I showed this in the Friday night show, the Collected Strangers in Paradise Volume 1. That fills in, it's funny, when I was filling in these Strangers in Paradise, it was only Volume 3 I think it was filling in, but now I only need Volume 2, issue 1, 4, 6, and 10, and I'll have all of Strangers in Paradise. Now, I have like a third printing of the very first issue, but I decided to get this. This was like $15, and it's an autographed Terry Moore one. But I decided to get this rather than spend $40 or $50 an issue for the 3 I'm missing out of the original 4. So I was like, that's good enough for me. What else do we have? Birthright 1 to 4. I got those last year. I never filled in my cross-gen collection. The first, Mystic, and Sigil. Those are the ones that I collected a bunch of first stuff, but those are the ones that didn't make the cut back then. Someday I want to read them. Matter of fact, I think Marvel just put out an omnibus of Sigil. How weird is that? Marvel Team Up 68. One of my favorite issues of Marvel Team Up. I got that. I wanted like I still have my childhood copy, but I wanted like a mint condition one. Only I accidentally got a Mark Jewelers one. I didn't even know it was. And I don't like those Mark Jewelers variants because they put a cardboard insert in them. It makes it terrible. But here's a couple other things I got. I just got this one. I started. Well, let me show you the other ones that I started with. It actually started with me reading a biography of, what's her name? What was her name? She was the Warhol It Girl. All of a sudden, her name just flew out of my head. But I really got into. I started reading about that whole Warhol 60s pop art period. So I started collecting these. I just happened to see some. I think someone pointed them out to me on our Friday night show. There were some 1960s pop art related covers. Edie Sedgwick. That's who I read the biography of. So there's those two. Here's the third one. So those three are pop art covers. Then I saw this one, which is a Surrealist cover. I was like, you know what? That'll fit in with the pop art collection. Lil Dots, Aunts and Uncles. A nice Surrealist painter there, painting Surrealism. And here's one. I want to get more of these because she's hip. She's more. I bought some original art from this issue that I showed off a while ago. But she's got some. Bunny has some pop art covers too. Matter of fact, here. Hey, Mark, your pop art party is terrific. So it even mentions pop art on this one. They got a few others from Bunny that mention pop art. So that's in my pop art collection. There's Hot Stuff. I got this one just because I wanted a Hot Stuff comic. I got this one recently. But that's my pop art collection. See the other thing. Wonder Woman 108 I never got. I probably never will. It's way too expensive. I just like the cover and I wanted to throw an old comic book in there. Same with Frontline Combat number 3. I ended up reprint next to it. I ended up getting the reprint of that. Just another one. I just love the cover. So I was like, I'll never get the original. The reprint's good enough. And I think Shade the Changing Man 1 through 8 I never got. But I threw those on there just because I think I read them back in 2017 in the Collected Ditko edition. And then I was like, you know what? I really should get those someday because I think they're cheap. I don't think they're that expensive. Oh, here's a funny one. Uber 1 to 27. At the time in 2017, I just started getting Uber Invasion and really liked it. So I said I should get the original volume 1 of Uber. And I thought I have checked off 1 to 27. Then as I was reading it, I realized I never got 26 and 27. So I had to put them back on the list. And I eventually got them. And Rex Mundi, Volume 2, Number 3. Somehow I know every other Rex Mundi. I went to reread them, and somehow that one was missing. So there you go. Oh, let me show you one more thing before we go. This, if you watch our Friday night show, you may have seen this. Tit Goblin sent me some goblins. Comics. He's also an artist, so he sent me this inside joke of some of our Friday night conversations when the joke dies. So that was a fun thing that a watcher sent us, a watcher of our Friday night show. So there you go. Just figured I'd come on and show you that Palookaville. And you guys have a good week out there.